Welcome back, and yes, we now turn our attention to results of select companies. They are chemical and allied products. That's the half-year 2022 result. And then we'll look at Cadbury's half-year 2022 result. And we have a lot more. We also have Northern Nigeria Flour Mills Q1 2022 result. And finally, we'll look at Red Star Express Q1 2022 result. We'll start with chemical and allied products half-year 2022 result. And we'll have the results displayed right here for us. And so looking at what we have in 2021, the revenue was 5.73 billion naira. And then in 2022, the revenue was 8.75 billion naira. The percentage change there is 53%. And then for profit after tax in 2021, 509.11 million naira. In 2022, 903.96 million naira. And then the percentage change there is 78%. The earning per share, 73 kobo 2021. And in 2022, we have 1 naira 11 kobo. Well, that's what we have for CAP. That's CAP, the half-year result. For profit margin, 8.72% in 2021. And then in 2022, we have 10.22%. Looking at this particular result, there is a 53% increase in revenue when we look at that result. And this is coupled with 78% increase in PAT. How were they able to achieve this? Let's start with you, Ambrose.
You know, for me, I would say the part of the last acquisition they did, they acquired one paint company,
Portland Paint,
yeah, and that also you can see the part of when we are growing, through merger, and also we are growing organically. You can see their shares in the market has improved because what they've added another company to their, bottom line or to their sales or market cap. For me, it's a good one for them. But the good thing is that for investor, you need to look at number. Yes, when a company is posting this number, you want to see how consistent is that number. That is why at the end of the day, after seeing the top line beating all the good expectation, the top line, bottom line, any per share move from 74.3 kobo to almost 1 naira. That means at the end of full year, we're expecting around 250 from there. That means dividend of 2 naira is possible compared to what they paid last year. Is it okay for you as an investor? What is the price now? That is for you to relate the price of the stock and the earnings to see what will come at the end of the day. For me, it's a good one for investor, but always look at the company operating cash flow. After we have seen the EPS, we have seen the earnings, profit after tax. Look at the cash flow of this company to see will they able to sustain this performance going to the future. If they're able to consider, then you can jump into the especially this price and the correct earnings have reduced the P ratio, telling that you have to stay a shorter period to recoup your investment. If earning money, for me, it's a good one for investors, but rather always combine your technical and fundamental for those that are trading. But for investors, you want to look at where is the dividend coming from. And this number will point to you where the dividend comes from. I can see for me, it's a good one for half year for the company if they will sustain it in the subsequent quarters.
All right, how impressed are you looking at the earning per share in 2021, 73 kobo, and now 1 naira 11 kobo?
Yes, I would say I'm very, very impressed. Looking at that measure that they did sometime in 2021 or so. Yes, I think I'm correct. 2021. This is CAP, chemical and allied products. It used to be still a subsidiary of UAC, and acquiring Portland paints and products. Because that shows that measure is successful. Because we have seen over time some companies, when they merge with another company, you see that it's problem in terms of different culture. But this one, we're now saying that these two companies merging and we are seeing the result. But again, I'm not trying to even advertise for them, but have you visited Deluxe, their centers? The distribution network, this company has in fact, if you sit in their, because I've done it once, if you sit in that they call it Deluxe Paint Center or something, if you will see the state at Accra, you see the state of the art technology, and distribution is everywhere in Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, and it's the same standard. But one thing I was very happy that they are also involved in the oil and gas, that is the marine section in terms of coating and painting and all that. So because
to kind of do protection for
protection for those vessels. So and for me that is a oil paint. That is a very good business, and we need that because our shipping industry is just gradually coming up. So if they are in that that industry, that means the space is very, very wide for them. So I will give kudos to CAPL management. I think maybe like traders usually say, you know, if they come to the floor to do a fact behind, we say, look, factory visits. We want to see your factory. We want to really, you know, get that delight of Dulux Color Center. Yes,
Okay.
it's very creative. Yeah.
All right, let's look at what happened really. One would have expected, okay, let me just put it out there first. Now, shareholders of CAP, that's the Chemical and Allied Products, lost 1.34 billion naira in a trading day. And this is despite growth in earnings. What happened? I mean, I expected the opposite. So what's happening?
Actually, it's not peculiar to CAP. You can tell you that, you know, the number released so far in the market have been positive and beat market expectation, but market has been, you know, in the southward direction, not because of what these numbers for now, but this number is opening the eyes of investors, creating an opportunity where they buy, because I believe that bargain hunters will start catching upon this opportunity we're seeing, because market is not diving. Like that, you don't catch a falling knife. Market's always coming down. When it comes to support, like when the knife land a place, you cannot whether you take it up again. I believe that once the market find a strong support level, it will go back, and that will be, you know, a function of liquidity. And for me, the loss you are mentioning is part of the market, and these are the dynamics of any market anytime. For me, the number is good enough for those that are designing also to know where to start putting their attention now ahead of what? Ahead of full year. As we speak now, we have less than, you know, 2 quarters to have another, you know, earning season for full year, and people will be, you know, smiling to the bank again. I believe that no matter what the pre-election year look like now, there are still opportunities in some sector. But for me, so far, I've seen that the election activities has been smooth, if not the increasing insecurity and threat here and there. Yeah. For the preparation of the election, we are not panicking because we have seen the what we call the presidential candidates for the major parties, and their agenda for the economy will have impact on the capital market. That means anyone that come on board, the market will benefit from them. And what we are leader, let's see how government is going to, you know, fix the insecurity, reduce it. Not even when the war, there's insecurity, but reduce your own. No, because it's right now, everyone is complaining. There's insecurity even in America, but it's not as tense as it is here now. We need to reduce it and to be able to so that people can move around. You know, before I believe that, you know, when I was in secondary school, there was called nightlife. In Nigeria, it's not nightlife because everybody's afraid. We need to come back to that so that you also have a way of playing on the economy.
Just to conclude what he has said.
But before then, let's also look at the fact that we see that they have this rising cost of sales.
I'm coming to that. Yes.
Okay, all right.
One, you could say you can attribute it maybe to inflation. Yes, because the cost of doing business last year and this year it's not the same. But again, you can also see that the trend we saw in the market was general. Prices were just coming down. And of course, CAPL being part of the market, of course, it will also affect the market. So it is not surprising to us. It's a normal market activities, you know. That is, the market reflects the economy. Yeah. So if there are crises, you know, in the economy, of course, even if numbers are coming and they are very good, it will also affect. But again, I'll just tell shareholders that has nothing to do with what you are going to collect by the grace of God towards the ending of the year. You are seeing an earnings per share of 1 naira 11 kobo half year. Then by the time we are talking of full year, all things being equal, you know, according to economists, I'm sure they might be able to do something 1 naira 50 kobo or even 2 naira. I'm just being very, very optimistic.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, that's okay. Let's look at Cadbury's half-year 2022 result, but we'll have it posted up here. So looking at Cadbury, what we have as revenue in 2021 was 18.52 billion naira. And then in 2022, we saw 27.88 billion naira. That is 51% change. And then looking at the profit after tax, it was in the negative in 2021, minus 516.17 million naira. And then in 2022, we saw 2.34 billion naira. Now that's 554% change. Looking at the earning per share, 27 kobo, that was in 2021, and then in 2022 it was 1 naira 25 kobo. Now for the earning per share in 2021, it's in the negative actually, minus 27 kobo, while in 2022 it's in the positive, 1 naira 25 kobo. And then for the profit margin, that's in 2021 minus 2.81%. And then in 2022, 8.61%. Now, we need to look at the fact that Cadbury had a negative result, posted negative result in 2021. And how is it able to record 554% change? What happened from negative to that beautiful number? Isn't that magical?
For me, I just say it's not magical, but it's their performance. But for me, I'm still reserved with this number. I know that Cadbury just released to the public. Fine, it's a very impressive one, I would say, and I say kudos to them. But I'm taking on sustainability is what matters. They move from a negative position to this level. I agree. But if you look at the product line of that company, for me, it's still. But I believe that most of them are having an opportunity to sell their products outside the shop of Nigeria, which is good. And any foreign currency, is a way of also impacting their bottom line. But one thing that is common in all of them now, that manufacturing sector, is that look at their profit margin. It shows that the cost of operation is finally eating to their sales, because you see a very huge, impressive top line and a team, bottom line. That's by moving from negative 300 and something million to almost 2 point something billion. That is huge. For me, it's a good one for Cadbury. But what matters for investors is sustainability. You can see that, like you just said, despite this impressive number, the price also was down yesterday. It tells you that market is not expecting number for now. But I believe that there's a time they'll not say, wow, this I will give away position.
For how long do we have to wait?
No, I'm thinking that by next week we'll see a reverse.
Okay, next week. That's close.
Before the election starts, we might see that the market will start rebounding.
All right. So, what are your thoughts?
Yes, for Cadbury, well, we all saw where they started from.
But we're also impressed. You think it's magical. He doesn't think it's magical.
For me, I would say it's a bit magical, but I wasn't expecting this from them, but Cadbury is a market leader. And in those days, we used to put them in the same pedestal with Nestle, and even Unilever at that time, Lever Brothers. But, when they had their issues, it became very disappointing to investors. But coming back now, of course, but one thing I saw in their report, they were able to contain their costs, which was very, very key. They were able to contain their cost. And of course, like somebody we were talking, off camera, that is it not the same Bonvita they are selling, But like he has said, they have the opportunity of, exporting some of these their items, and they said the confectionaries, beverage refreshment really moved. They really sold a lot. That really impacted on their bottom line, their number. So I will give them kudos for being able to containing costs, because that is very, very key. Like he said, manufacturing costs is very, very high. And if a company like Cadbury is able to contain their costs, of course, their top line will look very positive.
Oh, that's interesting.
Sorry, but before you go, sustainability is key.
I think you mentioned that also.
Stability. Not that today now you have come over 500%. Then next time we'll be having an issue. So we want to see that kind of stability, because investors need to plan based on how stable the market will be. Yes, we can advise investors little fluctuation of price up and down can be contained, but not when you have done 500% now. The next time you are coming, we are seeing another loss
minus
again. So please, they need to keep this performance. Let there be stability, and of course, let the regulators do their job. The auditors, seeing that these numbers actually reflect the true position of the company.
Okay, Ambrose, just before we go on, what would be your advice for investors?
No, like what I said earlier, that now we're seeing numbers. This time for them to do what call.
I'm looking at with respect to Cadbury.
Cadbury, for me, let they allow the price to come down to a good level to jump in if you want to take position, because I see there's correction already. But this number is a point out that they're likely to pay good dividend compared to what they did last year if they sustain this performance. But pulling back for me makes the stock more attractive, because we are already seeing a stronger number that will at the end of the day push the price up. That means any pullback now should be a buy position for those that know what they are doing, and also those that also understand to take analysis, because buying right is very, very important in equity investment.
Okay. Now let's move on to Nnfm, Northern Nigeria Flour Mill, the Q1, that's the first quarter 2022 result. We'll have it up there. But then let's look at the revenue in 2021. They had 3.56 billion naira. And then in 2022, they had 4.39 billion naira. That's 23.31%. That's the change there. For profit after tax, they had 82.86 million naira in 2021. And in 2022, 168.57 million naira. That's over 100% change, 103.4. Earning per share in 2021 was 46 kobo, and then in 2022, 95 kobo. The profit margin 2.25%, and in 2022, 3.70%. Well, it would seem that Nnfm did its homework, to record quite an impressive top line. But we need you to talk to us about the slim profit margin. Charles.
Okay, the profit margin from their report here is about just over 3%. I would have expected at least maybe 10%, because that for me, though we'll be told financial ratios, you have to compare with their likes in other, in the same industry, and all that. But looking at that profit margin, for me, I think it's a little bit too low. I'm not too comfortable with that. And for a company like that, Northern Nigeria Flour Mills, that in the business of producing flour, I know that every day people have birthdays, so their market is large. So why have they not been doing so well? A profit margin of 3.7, I'm not too comfortable, but we can see that the profit after tax 100%, but they should make sure that they make use of their resources efficiently, so that that profit margin can increase better, at least minimum maybe 10%. Yeah.
All right. What are your thoughts, Ambrose?
Yeah, you just said it all. It's a very low profit margin. It tells you that also cost is really meditating on their activities. You can see a good top line, a good bottom line, but at the end of the day,
the cost erodes it.
Yeah, for me, investors also consider that. But I believe when things improve, which is really better. And for me, in all standard, the result is good, but it is that area of profit margin. And also, if you look at, when you look at the number very critically, you see that the cost of finance alone moved from about 15 million to about almost 52 million
exactly.
in just 6 months. It's a very, we tell you that also have eaten into there. And also cost of sales, cost of all other things, cost of admin, a lot of things. And when it comes to, that what is happening in Nigeria as to speak now, that's also especially when it comes to manufacturing sector. And these are companies that also, their back contributions have not been so strong. When they still import some of their wheats for yeah, they have some farm at the back of the door here, but it's not enough for them. They still import, and that also has a way of affecting their bottom line because of what high exchange rate. But I believe that once they're able to look inward finally, and they are not importing revenue, we'll see it also reflecting on their numbers. But for me, it's a good start for this. This is the first quarter for the new financial year. It's a good start for the company.
Yeah, it's a good number, at least 95% any per share. I mean, 95 kobo any per share.
It's a good start.
It's good, but they should manage costs.
Yeah. All right. We're also talking about Northern Nigeria Flour Mill. It actually began the year with a share price of 8 naira, and it has since gained 7.5% on that particular price variation. Now, Nnfm closed its last trading, that was yesterday, at 8 naira 60 kobo per share on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. But then it must be mentioned that it lost 10% of its value in the past 4 weeks. What do you think, investors? How should they react to this?
It's general thing we're seeing in the market. It's not for individual stock now, and also the sector where they're operating. Also when you increase your prices higher, also you're going to close your market, because if there's any close substitute for your product, people go for it. That's why how you can push your cost to investors, to consumers, at a level that once they see it, well, if they're able to manage, that's why I see for them to manage that, because that's why I see that their profit margin is still very, very small. For me, it's general in the market now. Once we start seeing a reversal, we'll now know where each of them are going. But I believe that investors should also, invest for it. Like I said, that as a good investor, minimum of 4 stock in your portfolio, maximum of 8. Even though you're a shareholder, you want to go attend any share AGM. But these days, AGM is done on Zoom. For me, for that, look at stock that will give you money, not just having stocks in your portfolio. At the end of the day, you having 1%, 2%, and 1,000, 2,000. No, you take the decision and invest wisely in some stock that will that will change your story, and that is how to invest.
Stocks that will change your story. You mind talking to us about those stocks?
Well, let me just add to what you have said, what Ambrose have said. Yes, for investors that are looking at Northern Nigeria Flour Mills, I think, yes, they've seen the fundamentals, For investors that are attending Ambrose's class, they should also look at the technical analysis now. Yes, so that they should be able to take informed decisions. Yeah. That is the advice I will give to them.
All right, let's move on to Red Star Express, the Q1 2022, that's first quarter 2022 report. Now, let's start with 2021. The revenue was 2.81 billion naira, and in 2022, 3.24 billion naira. The percentage change there, 15.30, and then for profit after tax, 67.71 million naira in 2021. In 2022, 119.77 million naira, and the percentage change there, 76.89. Looking at the earning per share, 7 kobo. And then in 2022, 13 kobo, profit margin 2.41%. And then looking at 2022, 3.70%. Well, how should investors react to this particular result?
No, actually, when it comes to any economy, transportation sector is very active now, because no matter what, people have to move from one point to the other. And with the digital economy we're operating now, all sales are now done online. That means you are distributing your goods or services from one point to the other. That means for Korea business anywhere in the world should also be, should be doing well now. But I believe that that's why we're seeing such number for Resta goes into Korea business. And also don't forget that last 2 years they did a right issue and they acquired about a new fleet of cars that will them to move perishable goods from one point to the other. And also if that has started impacting on their performance, good one. But the number we're seeing is not a bad number, trying if I say. For me, it's a good start for them, because after seeing their performance last year, and they pay about just 7 kobo, 7 kobo dividend. And if at first quarter this year now, already seeing 13 kobo from that same company, it tells you that it's pointing at the end of the year, not less than let's say assuming 60 kobo for the final year, and I can afford to pay you 20 kobo, paying that 7 kobo. You can see if this number is sustained. For me, it's a good start for them. I said earlier that because of the digital economy, people are trading online. As you are buying, they have to deliver your goods for you, and this has to be with Korea business, Korea companies. And if they are going to good Korea partner with some companies that are into such business, I think they make more money. And now they are moving goods from one side of the country, either from north to east, and need to preserve those goods, moving from there so that they do not perish. I think they have business. Let's expect that they will sustain this performance going into the future for Resta.
All right, let's have a thought.
Restaurants, yes. Okay, I'll give them kudos because...
Did you have to think about it?
No, I don't have to, because like I said, it's everywhere, it's Korea business. Though there are a lot of competition in that sector now, because even the smaller ones are coming to the market. But looking at Restarex, they've shown that they are leaders. I know they are also related to or affiliated to FedEx, from the USA. Yes, so, and I'm sure with the support from that company, they will have all the technology, but I had once used them and I was amazed because you can even track from your phone where your item is. And I also discovered that they've also gone into shipping. Like I said, the shipping industry in Nigeria is just gradually taking shape now. People are getting to know the impact of shipping in our economy. So for Restarex, they should keep the good work. For dividends, well, paying 7 kobo last year was not too encouraging. But through what we have seen now, we are talking about 13 kobo already. So if they sustain this, I think they should be able to pay at least 20 kobo. So I think it's a good start. And with a price of 2 naira for the 5 kobo, I think investors can position themselves in it.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, that's a very good one. But just before we close, Red Star Express closed yesterday at 2 naira 45 kobo per share on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. It actually began the year with a share price of 3 naira 45 kobo, but has since lost 29% of that particular valuation. I'd like to have your thoughts on that very quickly.
I've just said earlier that what we're seeing in the market is not peculiar to results now, but these numbers are giving us insight of what we should expect from this company. I said earlier that if a company that is having 13 kobo as at Q1, paid just 7 kobo full year for 2022 financial year ended in March, I believe that going to the future we should expect a better dividend if they sustain this number. Like sustainability is very, very key, and also if things improve. But any economy that is going to digital, and I know, remember what TBN was saying in their last episode, that Nigeria is going to go into the digital economy, and I want to see how far, because if you're into the digital economy, these are companies that you, because if I'm buying something from any of the companies that are doing online business, they have to deliver to your house or to your office. It didn't go to this Korea. He just said the industry is full of competition, but I believe that because of their strategy and where they are coming from as a leader in the industry, we expect them to sustain a good number going to the future. But for me, investors should know when to buy stock, because I said it earlier, buying low and selling high is the mantra on the market. Now that they are pulled back for almost 29%, as you just mentioned, it becomes attractive, but not attractive enough until you know the strong support level of this stock before you can jump in. If you still correcting, you will know. If you're still going down, you will know. You wait till you find a support level before you jump in.
All right, in wrapping up, let's have your final thoughts for investors and traders alike.
Yes, for investors, I will always advise, do your little research.
Always.
Get as much information as possible from anywhere. Of course, people like Ambrose are there. You can also talk to your stockbroker, and you also apply yourself. Some of these things you will understand. Exactly. And I mean, as a trader, any clients that call me, I'm always ready to talk to you, no matter the time of the day, because we are there for these investors. You know, today is Friday, okay, and market has closed. Anyway, market has closed.
That's a very serious one. You had to take a deep breath.
Yeah,
right
because
there.
I'll be expecting a lot of calls now. And I'm ready for it. So, and that's why I want to tell investors, just continue to invest on a regular basis. That's when you get the full benefits. Like I will always say, buy low and sell high. All
right. I think this is a very good place to end the conversation for today. Many thanks for coming on the show. Thanks to Ambrose Amodio, the CRO Invest Data Consulting. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you again.
And of course, thank you too for coming, Charles Fakroha, stockbroker and business analyst. It's always a pleasure having you with us.
Thank you very much. I've enjoyed myself too.
And of course, many thanks to our virtual analyst who joined us earlier in the day, Jari Ogbe and Aruna. Many thanks to both of them for joining. And this is a very good place to say many thanks to you too for being a part of Analyst Hangout today. I remain Perpetua Fasan Repeater. See you some other time. Bye for now.